Let's bring in Democratic Congressman Suhas Subramaniam of Virginia, who sits on the Oversight Committee and who voted to hold former President Clinton in civil but not criminal contempt. Congressman, good to have you with us. Some of your Democratic colleagues have called this a witch hunt, especially because President Clinton was in active negotiations for an interview with the committee. So talk to us about your vote specifically involving former President Clinton. Are you trying to have it both ways?
Well, let's be clear. I mean, the Clintons have been negotiating, but the reality is we've been negotiating for 5 months now. And so I think the idea was to put a little bit of pressure on them to come to the table and be a little more collaborative in trying to figure out that process. But they've been more cooperative than pretty much every other person who's been working with our committee, with few exceptions. Pam Bondi, for instance, we tried to get contempt charges against her, and Republicans voted that down. And let's be clear, the difference between civil and criminal. Criminal contempt, they're going to refer that to the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi herself. And we know the president has been saying, lock her up, right, about Hillary Clinton since the 2016 election, right? And so I don't want to be complicit in allowing this president to continue to go after his political enemies, especially when this really has nothing to do with the victims or nothing to do with really helping us get information about this entire investigation. Because the reality is the Clintons don't have a lot to offer at this point.
So where are you expecting this to go when the full House votes?
Yeah, I do expect Republicans to vote on party lines to pass it because President Trump, I think, wants the ability to have Pam Bondi go after the Clintons criminally, right? And this is playing right into his hands, right? Because if he has an opportunity to throw Bill and Hillary Clinton in jail, he's going to take it, just like he did with Letitia James, just like he did with James Comey. He's going to go after people criminally. I think it'll fail in court, but I think he relishes the opportunity to do that. And so that's what we were trying to avoid. We can still put pressure on the Clintons. I voted for the subpoena of them in the first place without, giving Trump the opportunity to lock up more political opponents.
Well, after Wednesday's vote, Oversight Committee Chair, Republican James Comer, would not rule out potentially seeking testimony from the president. Watch this. This is what he had to say.
I'm confident President Trump's going to have to answer more questions from you all. You're very curious.
To under oath by your committee.
Well, there's never been a sitting president come under oath in an oversight committee hearing, but we'll see what how this plays out. We want to get the truth.
Congressman, since you and some of your Democratic colleagues agreed to push for testimony for Clinton, do you expect Comer to push for an interview with Trump?
Actions speak louder than words, right? In the end, the Republicans on this committee have been in lockstep with President Trump with few exceptions. There have been exceptions, but very few. And the reality is they've followed the president's lead in trying to make the Epstein investigation all about going after Democrats, right? And so this is what this is really about. It's not about trying to really get answers from the Clintons, because if you wanted answers from the Clintons, you would maybe hold them in civil contempt, try to put pressure on them, negotiate more with them, and get them in and get what they know. Criminal contempt, you're not going to get anything out of them, right? They're just going to fight this in court and probably win. And so, again, that's why this isn't really about trying to get the answers. And when, the chairman and other Republicans say, oh, yeah, we'll go after Republicans too. Well, I'd like to actually see them put contempt charges on Pam Bondi for not following the law that we passed, actually go after President Trump. And so they've defended them all along.
Congressman Suhas Subramaniam, thank you very much for spending the time with us, explaining your vote, and let's stay close as this develops. Appreciate you.